All right, here's some big news coming in from the national capital. Delhi now all set to end the weekend curfew. The weekend curfew has been withdrawn. Odd even in marketplaces, restrictions on marketplaces as well to end as well. Night curfew to still remain in Delhi. Schools to remain shut. Here's the big news coming in. Delhi weekend curfew has been withdrawn. Odd even in marketplaces, restrictions will end too. Night curfew though will remain in Delhi. Schools will remain shut. Amit Bharadwaj with more on that. Amit, give us an insight into what the decision has, what kind of decision has been taken. We understand weekend curfew has been lifted, but night curfew remains. So post 10 p.m. it still remains the same, all shut, but weekend curfew has now been lifted. Is that right?
Absolutely right. And today the DDMA had met for this crucial meeting where, there was a lot of pressure on the Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal, the DDMA, as well as the Delhi government from the traders, business and market associations that the odd-even policy and the weekend curfew restrictions must be withdrawn. So today, as per sources, the sources have confirmed India today that in the DDMA meeting, it has been decided that all restrictions of the weekend curfew will be withdrawn in the national capital. And along with that, the odd-even policy which was in place, which was imposed in the marketplaces of Delhi has been withdrawn as well, which means all the shops in the marketplaces will be allowed to open all 7 days of the week. However, the DDMA order, which is expected shortly, would point it out that the COVID protocols must be strictly followed in the marketplaces. Otherwise, there could be punitive action from the administration side. However, the big news here is also that the Delhi schools will remain shut, will continue to remain shut. There were different delegations which had reached out to Delhi Education Minister Manish Sisodia demanding reopening of the schools. But in today's DDMA meeting, it has been decided, as per our sources, that schools and all educational institutes in the national capital will continue to stay shut. And the decision about reopening of schools and educational institutes will be taken in the next DDMA meeting. Another relief that has come for the businesses and resto bar owners in Delhi is that, as per sources, the DDMA has decided that the restaurants in the national capital and the bars in the national capital will be allowed to operate with 50% capacity. And one big detail that is also coming in from our sources is that, this is the wedding season and Delhi is known for big, fat, grand weddings. So on that part as well, there is for the relief. As per our sources, the DDMA is going to allow weddings with 200 guests or with 50% capacity. So that is a big relief that is coming in from the DDMA, and the order would be released shortly. However, the bottom line remains that the schools and the educational institutes in the national capital will continue to.
This is certainly big news. Amit, thank you very much for joining us here. Delhi now finally ends the weekend curfew, but night curfew remain. Schools, of course, will remain shut. Odd-even formula for marketplaces will be lifted. Those restrictions, restaurants, bars, all of that will be allowed to function with 50% seating capacity.